Now, look, I don't know about you, but to me, it feels like the world's gone and lost its damn mind lately. I mean, everything is moving so damn fast, and everyone's angry about something. And half the time, you don't know what's real and what's just noise. And somewhere in all that chaos, your head starts spinning and feeling like it's going to explode. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I somehow have all the answers, because I don't. But I have figured out a few things along the way that help keep me sane when everything and everyone else around me is losing their shit. Simple stuff, real things, no fancy therapy talk or psychiatry work necessary. But let me ask you something before we get to all that. When did we all decide that being stressed out all the time was somehow normal? So stop and think about this. Your phone's buzzing every 5 minutes with some new crisis. The news is telling you that the world's ending and your job is less secure than it was 10 years ago. Oh, and let's not forget healthcare. Those costs are through the roof too. And somehow, magically, we're supposed to just be able to deal with all this. And then you wonder why people are walking around angry and stressed and feeling like shit all the time. But here's what really bugs me. We went and created this world where you can't escape any of the noise. It used to be that when you came home from work, that was it. You were home from work. But not now. Oh no. Work follows you home. And the news, that follows you everywhere. And everyone's opinion about everything is right there in your pocket. I want to know when we went and decided that that was such a good idea to give people a way to voice their opinion about every subject under the sun. We should have rethought that one. Because people, our brains weren't built for this. Nobody's was. We're trying to process more information in a day than most people used to process in probably, hell, a whole month. So of course you're going to feel overwhelmed. And here's something that nobody ever stops to mention. When your head isn't right, everything else falls apart. Your body starts acting up. Your sleep patterns are off. You snap at people that you care about, and work gets harder. It's simple stuff. Stuff that was once easy to you becomes a lot harder. And then you start to think that there's something wrong with you. Like you should just magically be able to handle all this. Like everyone else around you has all this shit figured out. And that's garbage. They don't. And look, I get it. Nobody likes to admit when they're struggling, especially if you're one of those people who are supposed to have everything together. But pretending like everything's fine when it's not, well, that doesn't make you tough, people. It just makes you more miserable. Let me ask you something. When did we start believing that asking for help somehow meant you were weak? And when did we decide that taking care of your mental health was some type of a luxury instead of just basic self-care? Stop and think about it, people. Your mind's just like any other part of your body. You ignore it long enough, it'll break down. All right. So here's some of the things that I've learned along the way to help me keep my shit together when it seems like everybody and everything around me is losing theirs. And you don't need to become some Zen guru or psychiatrist or spend a fortune on therapy. Sometimes it's the simplest things that work the best. Here's the first one. Move your body more. And I'm not talking about going out here and running in a marathon or becoming a triathlete. Go fucking walk around the block or do some push-ups or work in your garage or whatever. Just get up and get moving. You see, when your head is out of whack and spinning out of control, movement helps to settle that down. Second, turn off all that noise. You don't need to know every bad thing that's happening in the world every single minute of every day. Check the news maybe once, maybe twice, and just turn it off. Same thing with social media. Always remember that these things are designed to keep us angry and scared, and they're very good at what they do, but that's stress. Third, get up and get outside. I don't care if it's 10 minutes or an hour. Fresh air and sunlight do something to your body. I think it's vitamin D that sitting inside just can't do. Fourth, and this is the one I had to learn, Stick to a routine. That means get up at the same time, eat real food, leave the junk food and the Donato's pizza and shit alone, and go to bed at a decent hour. Our brains love and crave routine. It likes knowing what's coming next. And here's a big one. Do something with your hands. Build something or fix something or help. Start a garden and plant something. You see, your hands and your brain are connected. And when you make something real, it reminds you that you're capable and you've accomplished something. And remember too, people, none of these things cost money and none of them are particularly complicated to accomplish. But trust me, all of them work. I've used them. And know too, nobody gets through this stuff alone. I don't care how tough or how strong you may think you are. Nobody makes it through this alone. And I've noticed this, and maybe you have too. Real relationships, the kind where you actually talk to people face to face and interact, those are getting harder and harder to find nowadays. It seems like everybody's so busy online that nobody knows how to just be around other people anymore. So let me ask you something. At what point do we stop hanging out with each other and decide to start hanging out with our cell phones? And when did texting become the same thing as actually talking? It's not. It's not. So people, find some people that you can be real with, you know, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a couple of guys from work or maybe a neighbor. It really doesn't matter who it is, but find somebody that you can talk to when things get out of whack or kind of rough. Here's something weird. Helping other people actually helps you. So volunteer somewhere. That's something that never crosses most people's mind. You know, help a neighbor, teach a kid something that they don't know. When you're focused on helping someone else with their problem, your own problems don't feel so immense or big. That makes me wonder, when did we stop looking out for each other anyway in this country? We used to do that. But anyway, we can't control everything that's happening in the world, but we can control some things that are happening within our life. And that's where you start. Control what you eat, control when you go to bed, control who you choose to spend your time with. And most importantly, control what you decide to put in your head. And pick one thing that's been bugging you and fix that. Could be cleaning out your garage or calling somebody you haven't talked to in a while. Could be learning something new. I'm learning Python scripting. The point is, you did something. You know, you made a choice and you followed through on it. And that matters a lot more than you think. I just don't know. When did we start believing that we were powerless? When did we decide that life is something that just happens to us instead of making it happen? We've got a lot more control than we like to believe. We just have to learn to use it again. And this last little tidbit I'm going to hit on. Here's the thing. The world's always been crazy in some way, one way or the other. The difference is now we hear about it all the time. We didn't have this instantaneous news coverage up to the second news coverage that we have now. But notice, people, your mental health matters. And it's not selfish to take care of yourself. And it's not weak to admit if you're struggling. And it's not complicated to start feeling better. Just told you a bunch of ways to do it. So start with one thing, you know, move your body or turn off the noise or talk to someone real. I mean, really talk to them, not text, talk, you know, and you don't have to figure everything out today, but you do need to start somewhere. And if possible, start today. Because people, if your head's not right, nothing else really matters. And we all deserve to feel good. Just more of Unc's words of wisdom.